If you're a fan of elite catching talent, this video is for you. We're breaking down the must-watch catching prospects of 2025, guys who could anchor big league lineups or control the game behind the plate for the next decade plus. Let's dive into 7 of the best young catchers in baseball right now. And first up is Samuel Basallo. If you're a fan of this channel, you have heard us say his name before, many times actually, and you're probably well aware at this point that he's in a weird predicament behind Baltimore cornerstone Adley Rutschman, who also plays the catching position and isn't much older than Basallo in the grand scheme of things. The Orioles' top catching prospect is a monster at the plate, left-handed hitter with 30 home run potential. Basallo's bat is way ahead of his age. He's athletic for a catcher, and Baltimore's been giving him time at first base and DH to keep that bat in the potential future lineup. For his strengths, he's got elite raw power, advanced approach for his age, and growing defensive skills. Weaknesses or points to work on. Receiving still needs a little bit of polishing, and his long-term position could again shift depending on how he develops behind the plate. For the future outlook, if Adley Rutschman does stay behind the dish, which looks to be the case at this point, Basallo could be Baltimore's future DH or first baseman, but make no mistake, that bat is major league ready very soon. Dalton Rushing might be one of the most underrated prospects in all of the Dodgers system, and he happens to be a catcher as well. Drafted out of Louisville, remarkable college baseball program, Rushing brings a mature offensive profile. Think high OBP, sneaky power, and some leadership qualities. All good aspects to have at the catching position. For his strengths, remarkable plate discipline, smooth left-handed swing, and strong work ethic as well. Weaknesses, the arm strength is average, and some scouts question whether or not he's more of a backup as opposed to a long-term starter as a backstop. For his future outlook, the Dodgers love versatility and depth. Rushing has a clear path as a valuable left-handed bat off the bench, or even a starting role if he can continue developing the defensive side of the ball. Next up is Teel, another name you're probably familiar with if you're an avid consumer of this channel. The fast-rising backstop for the improving Chicago White Sox. Teel's calling card is athleticism and energy. He's an advanced hitter with a college pedigree and natural leadership qualities. For strengths, he has a contact-oriented swing, quick release on his throws, plus mobility behind the plate. He can get around and block a bit. Weaknesses, he's not a power-first guy, so his bat might top out as average in the slugging department and in turn OBP as well, and other advanced analytics. Future outlook with Jeferson Quero getting the call-up after an impressive stint early on in the season at the AAA level for the Charlotte Knights. Teel could take over as Chicago's other big league catching option within a year or two, bringing contact and consistency to a lineup that desperately needs it. He just might not be alone in Chicago. Salas has been garnering attention since he debuted as a 17-year-old. He was a 17-year-old in Double-A at one point, and Salas has sky-high expectations with the San Diego Padres. This guy was the talk of the town, one of the youngest modern-day prodigies to grace a professional baseball diamond a couple of years ago. The youngest catcher in the upper minors, Salas combines tools, instincts, and a little bit of charisma in a way that few catching prospects can replicate or ever have replicated. For his strengths, elite, and I mean elite, defensive instincts, mature pitch calling, kind of has a command behind the dish, and advanced feel for the strike zone as well. Weaknesses, the bat is still relatively raw. He has struggled at the plate in Double-A, and his frame still needs some strength. Got to build on some muscle, but obviously there's plenty of time. Future outlook, Salas is all-star upside and the potential to be a franchise cornerstone in San Diego. That seems to be the plan by all means. It just might take a few years, but the ceiling is massive. Jeferson Quero, let's talk about the Brewers' defensive wizard. Quero's glove is MLB ready right now. Framing, game calling, blocking, he truly does it all, and that goes into his strengths. An elite defender, has a strong arm, natural leader behind the dish, all aspects you want. Weaknesses, his bat does lag behind, especially in the power department, and there are questions on whether or not he'll ever be more than a bottom-of-the-order hitter. For the future outlook, Milwaukee could use him as a backup option for William Contreras soon. Contreras is actually battling a finger fracture on his catching hand, and at the time of this video, he is listed as day-to-day. Looks like he's going to try and battle through it, but maybe that speeds up the urgency on finding Contreras a formidable backup, and that could be Quero. Even if the bat stays light, his defense gives him everyday catcher potential for years. Blake Mitchell, a former first-rounder for the Royals, is a high-risk but high-reward talent. Volatility, if you will. He's one of the strongest arms among catching prospects and hits from a left side with authority. The upside is there. Strengths, he's got the plus arm strength, the raw power, a confident presence behind the plate. Weaknesses, his hit tool is inconsistent, and his defensive fundamentals do need a little bit of refining. He's not a finished product by any means yet. For the future outlook, Mitchell is still a few years away. He's actually still playing in the Arizona Complex League right now. Last year, he did make it to as high as the high A level in the latter stages of the 2024 campaign. Kansas City's got some time to be patient. If the hit tool clicks, he could be a rare left-handed power catcher with impact upside. And hey, Salvador Perez is 34 years old, still looks good by all means. I'd say taking a catcher in the first round a couple of years ago implies that Kansas City is hoping Mitchell can be a contingency plan for the post-Salvador Perez era. And we round this video out with Drake Baldwin. Last but not least, of course, he is with the Atlanta Braves. A bat first catcher with a physical frame and advanced approach, Baldwin's been rising thanks to a strong hit tool and emerging power. He's also about 20 games into his major league career, getting his first licks in Atlanta these last couple of weeks. For his strengths, we've got a balanced swing on our hands, solid power potential, great plate discipline as well. Another wise beyond his years type of guy. Weaknesses, the defense is average at the moment, especially his footwork and overall receiving. That might limit him to part-time duties at some point. Still a little early to tell. But for future outlook, if we are going to project for Drake Baldwin, Atlanta loves his bat, and Baldwin could settle into a DH/catcher hybrid role if the glove does not catch up at some point. Still, the offensive tools give him a shot at sticking around. From elite defenders like Quero to offensive juggernauts like Basallo and Salas, this year's crop of catching prospects is the deepest I think we've seen in a while. If you enjoyed this video and if you enjoy minor league baseball, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, leave any video suggestions you have in the comment section below, and we will see you in the next one.